All right, it's live. Welcome everybody. This is Add1Challenge Day 0 kickoff hangout for Add1Challenge 12. And my name is Brian, and this is Victoria, and this is Dina. We're the Add1Challenge team. Um, yeah, so that's us. And we have other Add1Challengers participating right now, and she's like going like this with her legs, getting really excited. And so basically, this hangout is just to hang out and talk to people who are just starting and answer any questions you have, and then also people who are in the active challenge, like Kyle, can share some of his experience and things like that in that one challenge. So why don't we start off with introducing ourselves? Who wants to go first?
I can.
Yeah, go Kyle.
All right. Yeah, so I'm Kyle. I am 19 and currently in the middle of a gap year between high school and college. I'm obviously American and started loving languages when I was in Germany on exchange like 2.5, 3 years ago. I wasn't very confident about speaking at all in like my first month and feeling pretty bad. Like I didn't really understand much. Everyone could understand English. It was really normal for me to just speak English with my exchange partner because he had been with me for 4 months before I went there. It was like an equal exchange. And then somehow I found Benny Lewis's blog, Fluent in 3 Months, and he was a massive inspiration for me to I totally cut out all English. So for 3 months in Germany, I spoke like barely anything of English at all and learned so much in that time. I actually met my current girlfriend who's French, who was on exchange there too, and we basically, until now, have only spoken German together. But now we're at the point where we're going to start. She's going to help me with French while I'm there, and then when she's in the U.S., I'll help her with her English. And I've just continued loving learning languages. My next language was Portuguese because all my best friends are Brazilian, and I'm actually back in Brazil right now for the second time, and working on that. And then, like I said, yeah, French because of Mathilde is my girlfriend, and now I'm in the 11th challenge, so about day like 40, 42 or something, I think. Working on Hungarian for the very first time because I also have a lot of good Hungarian friends. I love the people. Really interesting language, unlike anything else. Beautiful. Actually makes a ton more sense and is way easier than everyone thinks. And I have the amazing, what do you call it, like the chance that once I learn the language, because my family actually, part of my family emigrated to the U.S. from Hungary years ago, I will get to become a Hungarian and therefore European Union citizen. So that's a huge, huge like driver for me right now.
I remember you in your intro video you talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you now. You look different.
Yeah, my brother shaved off my hair.
Cool, man. Thanks. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, so
Cool.
happy to be here. Thanks.
All right. Next.
I can talk.
All right. Alex.
My name's Alex. I'm currently speaking to you from Berlin, Germany. The language I've chosen to study for the challenge is Japanese, which is completely different from all the things that I've studied in the past. I speak French and German and English, obviously, and Dutch. I am Dutch national. And I studied Arabic, Farsi, and Pashto for work. I'm a writer and researcher by profession. So Japanese is something in just a completely different universe to everything I've been doing before. Yeah, I'm really excited to kind of get going. In fact, I took my first 30-minute italki lesson this morning, which was interesting. Lots of new phrases and words. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the next 3 months.
Awesome. Happy to have you. All right. Who's next? Welcome, Olivia. We're just introducing ourselves right now. Maybe mute your mic if you're not speaking. Uh, cool. Okay. Who's next? Ooh, Nikki. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. Who wants to introduce yourself? Come on. All right. I'm gonna pick Gary. Come on.
Okay, I'm Gary. I'm from Scotland. I took part in Add1Challenge 9 and won somehow. I've no idea how, but yeah. So I took on Italian and I had to overcome a severe fear of speaking, which I managed to do. Completed the challenge and completed my 15-minute video. And then, like I say, I won. So in January I'll be flying out to Italy. Plan to film it all and send so that you guys can all see as well.
Cool. What else did you get from that one challenge?
Well, I got a lot for the Add1Challenge. It gave me a lot of confidence. I've never been a very structured person, and I was able to put in place that structure so that I could actually study consistently every day. And I made a ton of friends. I've got a lot of international friends now that I never had before, so it's awesome. It's really awesome.
Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. All right. I'm going to start picking people now. Bonnie?
Okay. Yeah, hi, I'm Bonnie. I am currently on a high school exchange in Germany. I'm 16 and right now I'm in Freiburg. I speak
My favorite
Chinese.
city of all time.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful city.
Yeah, cool. I speak Chinese at home. Back in the States, I used to live in Boston. And I took 3 years of Japanese as part of the Saturday Japanese school thing, but unfortunately I pretty much forgot all of it. And right now I'm learning French because I think it's such a pretty language. I live right next to the border. I have a lot of friends who speak French, and I thought, you know, why not? So, yeah, that's kind of it.
Awesome. Happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Cool. Is Jonathan driving?
Yes, I'm. Yes, I'm driving. I didn't want to miss the hangout, so I was trying to attend the call, and I was trying to. It's kind of so. Excuse me if I cannot speak as much as I want. But
Don't talk.
ah,
Let's just drive safe.
good. I'm just hearing all the. I didn't want to miss anything, right? Because this is my first Add1Challenge, and I saw your post on Facebook, and it says 5 minutes, and oh my God, I'm not at a specific place where I can take the hangout, right? So, but I'm doing my best, right?
Cool, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, it's pretty great, right? Good.
Awesome. All right, Shauna. Can you unmute yourself first?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes.
Okay. This is my first Add1Challenge, but I've been following it for a while, and I'm here to learn German. I've studied French in college and high school, and I take classes here at an Alliance Française, but German has so far been elusive. So I have a lot of German friends, and they're all have perfectly fluent English, so it's tricky to try to use them for help. But yeah, I'm hoping to get up to speed so I can at least start learning on my own a little easier.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining. All right, let's go. Eric, you want to unmute yourself?
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, so I started with Mandarin Chinese at a university 3 years ago, and did 3.5 semesters, and dropped out last year because I took a full-time job instead, and didn't study any Chinese at all for over a year, and felt that, okay, I lost a lot, but I want to get back on it. So in April, I'm actually going to China to a friend's wedding. He invited me, and I really want to, follow along as much as possible. So it's a really good motivation to actually do this.
Awesome. All right. They'll give you some motivation going to China in April.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Welcome. Happy to have you with us, Eric.
Cheers. Thanks.
All right. Olivia, welcome.
Ooh, hello, everybody. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
This is good to get outside my comfort zone. I'm glad I clicked on it and got it working. Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm from Los Angeles. I love the Spanish language, and if anyone wants help with, if you're a beginner, I'm kind of an intermediate level, so I would love to hang out with you and hablar en español. And wow, this is so crazy. All these faces, so beautiful. And I'm getting discharged from the hospital today, so I have a couple weeks off. I've chosen Arabic as my language, and for a couple reasons, but the main reason being I just got so tired of here. I know nothing about the Middle East, and the best way that I learn is through language to understand people. So that's really exciting for me, and yeah, cool.
Welcome. We just want to
Add1Challenge. So great.
we just want to say we love you, Eric. And welcome, and we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so Nikki, yeah. How can I put it? Nikki.
Hi.
You went away for a little bit, and I'm like, Nikki, you want to introduce
Yes, I
yourself?
went to put some more wood on the fire.
Putting more wood on the fire. You want to quickly introduce yourself?
I'm Nikki. I'm English, living in Albania. I've done 3 Add1 challenges, 2 for Komanji, which was quite challenging, and I've just done one for Turkish, which was harder than I thought it was, and I'm taking a month off.
Taking mine off. Got it. Got it.
Challenge.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
I'll be back. I paid for it. I've got to come back.
Cool. We're looking forward to have you back, and thank you for participating. Cool. Awesome.
And Nikki's also a winner.
Nikki was also a winner of the At1 Challenge. I don't remember. You've done so many At1 Challenge. I don't remember. Number 7? Okay. Winner number 7 At1 Challenge. Cool. All right. So now let's go over something. So guys and girls,
Brian, one sec. I have a question. Are we at the limit here? Or do we have like the maximum 10 people right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we have with
max. Someone is trying to join. Someone said she couldn't figure out how to join, and I'm thinking I'm gonna give her my place because I think she's a new challenger. I don't recognize the name.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Old or new is fine because we're sharing like the tips and what the experience that we have, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'll just ask her.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Just say they can.
Sounds good.
Right now. So, how you guys doing? Are you guys excited?
Yay.
Go ahead. Not maybe. Yay! Yay! Cool. So, now let me ask you guys, what is the goal of 90 days? You guys can answer.
Basically, for me, it's like it's having the confidence enough to speak French. For me, it's like an elusive language that I was trying to learn too many years ago.
Mm.
Until
Yeah.
right now, I have the confidence enough to try to speak something, and I hope that this challenge helps me in order to do that, right? So I have the because like no, I don't remember who said that, but I'm a very shy person, so this will help me to get out of my comfort zone, right? So that's what I expect.
Oh. Yay, cool. All right. So anybody else? What is the goal in 90 days? What is our specific measurable goal in 90 days?
I have tried a couple of conversation exchanges, and I have a bunch of words in my head, but they all fly out as soon as it's time to speak with somebody. And even when I did my day 1 video, I was doing this monologue in my head. You know, I had all these interesting things to say, and you can watch my day 0 video, and I'm just and lots of nervous laughter. So I'd like to, you know, have the stuff in my head, keep it there, and be able to use it to communicate without completely choking.
Happens to everyone.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. You're not the only one.
Oh, good.
You get just gotta keep going.
Good. That's good to know. That's my goal for sure.
Cool. Okay. So our specific measurable goal in 90 days is to be able to hold a 15-minute conversation. At least a 15-minute conversation on video. So what do you guys think is the secret of making that happen?
Practice.
1 second, airplane's flying. We can't hear you. We're outside somewhere.
Somewhere near the airport.
Somewhere near the airport. So what is the secret of being able to reach our goal? Anybody?
Practice?
Yes. Practice. Anything else?
Being consistent.
Yes. Yes. Practice. Being consistent. Very good. We're combining. We're getting to. That's really a big part of it. Anything else?
There's a quote in the email. I don't think I've memorized it yet verbatim, but it's do an hour of practice so that you'll want to do something tomorrow. So just do something enough that you want to do something tomorrow.
Yes. Do whatever it takes. No, let me think. I don't remember myself.
Do whatever it takes today for you to want to study another hour tomorrow.
For you to want to study an hour tomorrow. To sum that up, I think the secret to making that happen in 15-day conversation is to learning how to create a fun, sustainable, and consistent routine so that language learning becomes a part of your life. So as you said, fun, somebody said, practice, consistency, that's great, but you know, if we can actually make it fun and sustainable and make it a part of our life while we're handling everything else, naturally we're going to have the result that we want. So now we just got to figure a way how you can create a fun and sustainable and consistent routine for you, because everybody's different. Everybody's dealing with different thing in life, right? So you got to figure a way to do that. That's the secret to making that happen. So if this is the secret, learning how to create a fun, sustainable, and consistent routine so we can incorporate it into our life, what are some of the ways we can do that? Any ideas? Let's brainstorm here. This is a brainstorm thing going on. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, for me, I need to.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, I need to do. Sorry, is the rain overpowering me? We have our daily rain here in São Paulo. Like it's coming down fast now. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I need to like do things that are interesting. I can't even study flashcards anymore, even though like even though they might be personally relevant to me and they come from my conversations, like I just can't do it because I have so little time in a day that I can't be doing my like half hour to an hour studying flashcards, regardless of how helpful they may be and relevant. So I sing, like I learn how to sing songs. I listen to songs. I put on a bunch of different Spotify radios and like a bunch of songs so that I find a stuff of music I like in it. It gives me better recommendations. And like I learned to rap in Hungarian to improve pronunciation, flow, accent, just melody, everything that's so important that most things don't focus on and acknowledge as much.
Great.
And like I do it in English too. Like I love to sing, so yeah, whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I feel like how could I possibly do my time today, I'll just sing along to some songs and feel a lot better and still get in my time because I'm really learning with that.
Cool. Those are great points, man. I mean, because everybody learns differently. All the polyglots are gonna have like different ideas of how you should study, do flashcard, blah blah, read book, blah blah like that. But try it. If you can't you can't really get yourself to. It's not fun for you. It doesn't matter how effective it is. If you don't find it fun to continue to do it again tomorrow, it's useless.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Find a way.
Like Glossica, for example, is like I've learned. I can tell you like all. I can just rattle off a bunch of words I've learned from it, but I hate it. Like I can't just have this guy like this soulless voice telling me all these irrelevant phrases again and again. Like my brother and I are good tennis players. Like no, why? No.
But I just want to say, it may not work for you, but it may work for somebody else, right? So.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's only my personal.
It's all very personal, so you need to try it and then test and see if you like. Because funny thing is, a lot of people tell me that they don't like Glossica in the first day or first 2 days, and then at the end of the 15th day, they're like, oh yeah, can you send me the other ones, or how do I buy the other ones? It's like. Because they learn it, because they put a little bit more time into it, and it actually works. But again, everybody gotta try it for themselves and see what they like, so that they can create so you can create a sustainable routine. So any other tips? Any other things that any ideas that you can actually make this happen?
So I guess what I did back in Boston was before coming here to Germany. I just started finding people who spoke German and just like on the streets try to like practice. It was like so random, and they like didn't know me. I didn't know them, and I pretty much knew like no German, but I just wanted practice, and it was just really fun. And when I told them like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Freiburg, they were all like really excited to talk, and that was really fun for me to learn stuff. But also about the rap thing, I can't sing for life, and I definitely can't rap either. But I pretty much memorized like the first verses of some random rap song in German, and that got like my pronunciation going and stuff. It was really cool, but I had no idea what it meant, but it was cool. And yeah, I just think if you find something that you really like, especially with media like a movie or a song or even like a book or something, and just try and stick with it, even if you don't understand what it is. If you just try and I don't know, like know how it goes, it just really helps a lot. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. See, it's not that scary to talk to people, strangers on the street. Come on. See, if Bonnie can do it, anybody can. Well,
So,
wait, can I ask you?
All right, on you go.
Oh, okay. How do you know they speak German?
I used to work in a Panera bread shop, and it's like it was right in downtown Boston, and then I would overhear them talking in German before they like came up to the register to like talk to me or like to like order something, and so that was when I knew that they were like German. And yeah, I don't know, especially if you go to like if you live right next to like a huge train station or like an airport or some kind of like a convention center. It's just really interesting to see like what kind of people just show up there, and you can usually tell what language they're speaking like when they walk by or something, and it's really exciting. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Bonnie. Love the courage. All right, Gary.
So for me at the beginning of the challenge, I think the big thing was doing less than I actually wanted to. Doesn't sound like it makes sense, but I was so excited at the beginning of the challenge that I would have probably studied 5, 6, 7 hours a day. And then after a week, I would have burned out and not studied anymore. So what I actually had to do was do less, and then try and build a routine and keep it consistent, but mix it up enough that I wasn't just doing the same thing every day.
Yeah,
so I think that's what made the difference for me.
Yeah, that's the burning out is the #1 enemy of language learning. You know, once you burn out, you're out of the game. You stop, and then something else comes up, and then you're done, pretty much. So burning out is your #1 enemy. So as Gary said, don't just do your minimum, 30 minutes an hour, and then stop, and then do again, and then so you wait for you like long for tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do my hour tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait. You know, then you're now you're in the game. You know, now you want to do an hour tomorrow. That's how that's like that's what's gonna keep you going. Cool. Olivia, you say something?
Yes. To add on to what everyone's been saying, I know it's
Can you mute your Jonathan, can you mute your microphone, please?
Sorry for that.
No worries.
Oh, I thought my microphone was off. I was like, oh, I don't know where my microphone's at. Got it. Thank you. So to add to what everyone's been saying, one thing that has already worked for me is just even talking, like what, hold on. Bonnie was saying, of just talking about your goal. I was talking with my nurses about my new goal about I want to learn Arabic. Turns out her grandparents speak fluent Arabic, and she's like, come on over to my house after you're discharged and let's do it. I was just like, why not? And then learning random words from different people, but just always having it off the tip of your tongue that this is a part of your new life orientation. And then again, I think what I'm starting to do now is focusing on the main, like, really good language that you use a lot. So like I have, I want, desire, and so to break that down so then you can kind of get more bang for your buck in the first when you're first learning out. Okay, I'm gonna mute now.
Awesome. I think Olivia, you just shared a really good point. You told somebody, like a friend, that you're learning Arabic, right? That it's a lot of people don't understand, but everybody mostly are scared to share. Oh, I don't want to share with people. I don't want to share with people. But you know the magic thing is, yes, you may get, how do I say it? People may not share because they don't want to. They're afraid to get hurt somehow, right? But that also actually limits you for people that can help you out. Like Olivia, like you have a friend, you know, you just share with somebody, and then like, hey, let me help you out. You know, so all these people who, it's funny thing when you say you want to do something great in 90 days, right? It's a big goal, and then when people see people doing big things, they want to help you out. So that's one of the reasons why we ask you to share with your friends, with accountability, and also that other people can also help you out. So that's awesome that you're sharing with your friends, and now you got a speaker that can actually have you practice with. How cool is that? Cool. Awesome. So now we got a lot of great ideas and tips of how to create a sustainable routine and also what not to do. And I just want to say that at some point in the next 90 days, you're not going to feel like learning. Like one day you're just going to like, I don't feel like learning. So Nikki is smiling. Look at her. Nikki has been there before. She understands. And you know, so something's going to come up, traveling, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, you may miss a day or two there. So it's pretty much guaranteed it's going to happen. Okay? So now, since we know that's going to happen, now we can think about, okay, what can we do to dust ourselves off and get back in the game? What are some of the ideas that you have? Oh, yes. You like this? You like this? You like this? So what are some ideas that you guys have that you would get yourself back on track, no matter what happens?
Maybe having a bunch of things that you can do which are fun, so it's more the play side of things rather than the learning side of things that you were talking about in your email.
Great, great. Have a list of fun things to do when you just to get yourself back into motivation. You know, get inspired. Basically, doing something fun. That will definitely help you get back in the game. Anything else?
I think
I could say.
having.
No.
Oh, you go
No,
first.
no. I was saying that I think that if we focus on the reward, if we foresee which is our goal, I think that we could like have the strength in order to pull out all the things that we need. See which is our reward, right? Basically,
Yes.
what I think.
Keeping your eye on your goal. Remember that's another reason why I have you create your rewards and punishment. You know, so because it's gonna happen so I remember when doing my first challenge, my punishment was to have to wash my ex-father-in-law's toilet. So every time I don't want to study, I think of him. I'm like, and then I think of his toilet. I'm like, ooh, okay, I better get myself. I better do my German, you know. So, yeah. Anything else?
For me, there was days where I was just too busy. I couldn't fit an hour of study into that day. So I think just having a list of short activities that you can take on is a benefit. So that you can make up your hour from doing 15 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon and then a little bit later, rather than having to schedule a whole hour at a time.
Great. Break it down. You don't have to do. It's all about consistency, right? So if you fulfill 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and then 15 minutes there, 45 minutes a day, and then you do that for 90 days, you can go far. So you don't have to do 1 hour or you can break it down. And that will definitely help a lot. Great ideas. Nikki, anything you want to share? How you get yourself back on track? Hello?
I'm not really sure.
You're not really sure.
What I do is I commit myself to considerably less than I intend to do. So
Yes.
the days I don't feel like doing much, I only have half an hour to do. And most days I'll do an hour or more, but if I don't feel like it, well, I've only got half an hour to struggle with.
Just have it. Great. Wow. So what Nikki said is basically you're actually that's really beautiful. So in the beginning of the challenge, we all said that we are going to have that 15-minute conversation a day, and we're going to say 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I'm going to say 30 minutes a day. You gave your word to yourself, and also to the people who've seen your video. So one of the great things that what Nikki just said was, don't listen to your feeling. Act according to what you said you'll do. Don't let your feelings, drag you around, because nobody can control our feelings. Let our word pull us forward instead of the feelings, because then we'll never get things done, and we just go according to feeling, because I don't feel like doing anything. Right? So yeah, that's it. Commit. You said we're going to do something and make it happen.
Now, what I was saying actually was, I don't overcommit. I undercommit.
Yeah.
I have an amount of time I intend to spend on language study. I intend to spend an hour, but I will commit myself to half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Half an hour is doable,
yeah,
even when I don't feel like it.
Right.
Or I commit myself to 5 days a week. I actually try to do 7 days a week. But it's all right if I can't fit in the 7, if I don't fit in the 7. So it takes the pressure off.
My friend likes to say undersell, over deliver.
Cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice.
it's great to in the beginning especially because we don't as we are looking, we're exploring and discovering what it takes to create this routine works for you, right? So it's always better to go 30 minutes and then gradually increase it as we go. Cool. All right. So I think these are the biggest part. Oh, actually, one of the things I want to say about if you miss a day, okay? If you miss a day, first of all, what most of us do is to beat ourselves up. Oh man, I should have done it in the morning, or I should have like, oh man, I'm stupid. How did I do that? And then we go like, oh, I gotta fill in that nay. Oh my God. Oh, you know, I'm so disappointed in myself. I need to put in my first nay after 60 days. So, first thing first, nays are not bad. Okay, it just happened. It just like, you know, it happens and it's okay. So the first thing to do is to let go of beating yourself up. They're laughing because they like to beat themselves up all the time. I need to tell them all the time, let go of beating yourself up. Okay, and then proudly put in your nay. Yeah, I didn't do it today, and I'm acknowledging it. I'm gonna get back on track tomorrow. Nothing's wrong. It's not bad. It's just what happened today. I acknowledge it. That's what happened. Now that's powerful. So if something happened, you can't make your nay, then okay, just write nay. Cool. Tomorrow's a new day. Cool. All right. Okay. Well, that's it for me. Do you guys have any? So now we just. Do you have any questions? Any feedbacks?
I have a question.
Yep.
So the main goal, of course, is conversation and speaking. But in terms of practicing, there are so many obstacles, maybe I would say, to doing that, to practicing speaking. First, you have I'm scared. It makes me nervous. And then you have, well, I have to get somebody else involved. It's not just something I can do alone. I have to coordinate with another person. And then you have, well, there's a technological aspect of it. I have to deal with the technology. So, just from this is stuff that makes me nervous, there's also all these other steps that you can say, oh my gosh, practicing speaking is so complicated. I'm just going to, read or do Duolingo. So what are some ways to overcome the mental and, all the actual obstacles to practicing speaking?
Great question. Great question. Okay, I'm going to let you guys say. What do you guys I'm going to let you guys answer. Anybody?
Hi, how are you? Hi, sorry I'm late to the party.
No worries, you're in the party.
I am the party. My name is Paulino, and my challenge is German, my first challenge.
Yeah.
And just to start answering the question, like we talked before about breaking down your goals, 30 minutes, an hour, you can also break down what a conversation is. And sometimes a conversation could be exchanging a couple of chat messages with someone. And there are many sites where you don't have to do Skype or Hangout conversation. It's just chat. So maybe you can find some pen pals with some chat system or a Google Hangout and saying, hello, how are you today? The weather is nice. Something simple. You achieve at least a type of communication, and you kind of pat yourself in the back saying, you know, at least I have a type of communication, simple, basic, but at least you are not following behind. And then you can build on that and continue in chat, text, because text it's less threatening. You know, you can look up words if you need to. You can start simple, and then when you're ready, bring it to a more full experience of, okay, can we set up a time, or are you free in an hour? We can do a little bit of Skype. Also, when you do a Skype with someone, it doesn't have to be all like, let's talk, but it could be, how about we talk for 5 minutes about the weather? And therefore, you already have a mindset of what's going to happen. Maybe you can prepare some vocabulary, some questions, so you don't come all wild and the conversation. And that will help you be more motivated to come to the conversation because you are more prepared, rather than, let's just talk and see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's an idea.
Woohoo! Thank you. That was very, very helpful. Those are some really great ideas.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
So one of the things I did, I had a severe fear of speaking when I first started. So rather than speak to someone, I recorded myself answering questions, and then I would just play them back to myself, so there was no one else involved, but I was going through that process. Then the next step was, when I was having conversations with my tutor, I recorded the lesson, and then later I would play back the same lesson and just try and answer the same questions and see if I could do it better. And then the next time I was actually asked that question, it came straight to mind, so it made a huge difference.
Mm. Right. Awesome.
If I may add, that's a great idea. That's something. I'm an actor. I'm a language teacher, but I'm also an actor, and that's a technique we use a lot when we have to learn our lines for dialogues. So you can get a dialogue, find a dialogue in the target language, and then record. The dialogue has A and B, record all the A lines, and then play it to yourself and try to stop it, and then try to answer it, or try to say the other part of the dialogue. That's a neat technique.
Great. Awesome. Cool. Anybody else?
One thing I did when I was beginning Komanji was I wrote down what I thought I wanted to say on Hello Talk.
Mm.
My language partner corrected it, needed a lot of correction, and then we recorded it in a voice message. I then recorded these voice messages, sort of all together, and so I was able to listen to them when I was sort of walking around town or doing mindless jobs. And so I was learning how to say things I wanted to say, like please can we talk, or please repeat that, but with a reasonable pronunciation.
Cool. Using the voice chat function of Hello Talk and recording the audio and just having someone correct you. Cool.
No, I wrote it in a text.
Mm.
He corrected it.
Got it.
In the text.
Yeah.
And then he recorded it for me.
Got it. Got it. You're right. So you say what you...
Yeah, and then I put that onto my iPod. So I had it when I was offline as well. And that was very helpful.
Awesome. Wow, I just want to acknowledge this is the power of a community. You see, I don't have to answer these questions. Everybody, you guys all got all these great answers already, you know? So this is the power of the Add1Challenge when we use a community to learn together. So this is great. Nina, you want to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add that for me, it was a big realization when I did my first italki session for Burmese, which I couldn't really speak at all. And I was scared of it. I realized, wow, my tutor is actually interested in helping me. That's her job, right? She's there for me to,
That's what you
to
pay her
learn
for.
Burmese. That's why I pay her for. But even anyone else I would meet, people would always be more than happy to just help me learn the words and help me speak the language. So it's not really that we have to go in and make a Skype call and start speaking and having a conversation and entertain that other person. Not at all. It's like this other person, even if it's just a friend or not even a tutor that you're friends with, they're here for us to help us advance and learn the words and so on. And for me, that was really, I mean, it's so simple, but it was a big realization. Like, I don't have to know it all ahead of time. They will help me.
Yeah. Someone in the Add1Challenge said, "Oh, I paid for them to no, what did they say? Somebody said like, I paid the iTalk license so that to torture them with my language. So I paid for it, so it's okay." So, you know.
When I was doing my day 90 video, if anyone listens to it, they will hear that I say something. My tutor then says it back in correct Turkish, and we went along like that, and we conversed, and we had good discussion.
Yeah. Cool.
But it didn't matter that even by day 90 I couldn't say things properly.
And that's okay, you know. So I think the last thing that I want to add is that because you mentioned all these technical different difficulties and all these things that could be in the way of you speaking, right? So I highly recommend just going on iTalki. It's very simple. All the time and all the things like that are all done for you. All you do is go and schedule 3, not 1, not 2, 3 sessions for next coming week. And then you can, so when they accept your request and the time works for them, then you can chat with them, right? So you can say, hey, I only want to talk about the weather in this 30 minutes, like as someone recommended. Then you can let them know. Then you also preparing just that. That's all I'm going to talk about. That's all I want to help it. That would just, you know, that would be a lot easier than a conversation. And then some Judith Mayer said, we can actually get fluent by topic. So we can just pick one topic and just talk about that topic over and over again. And then once we're fluent with that topic, we move on to another topic. And we just take it one at a time, one topic at a time. Eventually, you get there. So that's what I want to add into that.
I just wanted to say something really quick. So one of the longest days that I had just learning the language, learning German was, or one of the best days that I had was just me and my German friend. We were walking down the street and she was just telling me what things were and the vocabulary and stuff. I was just saying like, "Was ist das?" And she would just say like, "Oh, that's something," and then she would like quiz me right afterwards. And because I had like this visual right there, and it was right there, and we were in the street, and especially because there was someone else there that was like quizzing me and like making sure I like knew my stuff. It was one of my most productive days ever, and especially if you know someone who speaks the language, it's just so productive to do something like that. And yeah, that's yeah.
Awesome. All right. Any other question?
Yeah, I have one. What are your most valuable tips for using or having Skype lessons? Having Skype lessons.
Okay, what are your tips on having Skype lessons? Anybody?
Yeah, and to make them as most productive as possible.
To make them as most productive as possible. Got it. Anybody?
Well,
yes.
I'll answer to that. I think the most important thing is avoid going into the lesson cold. Always contact the teacher before and get to know the teacher, and make sure that the teacher or tutor knows your goals, because you might have the goal of being proficient or becoming fluent talking about education, and the teacher prepares a whole lesson about technology or art that doesn't serve your purposes or your needs. So always be clear on your goals, or if you're still trying to decide an idea of what your environment in using the language is. If you think you're going to use the language for travel to start with, then start with that, but communicate before the lesson. That's my number one recommendation.
Got it.
Nice. Thanks.
I try to get my teacher's permission beforehand to record the lesson, and then I listen to it normally once or twice. I notice my mistakes, and also I find it easier to hear the teacher or to understand the teacher or my conversation partner when I'm listening to it again. And there's also this app called Speeter, which will repeat sound bites, so you can make it. You can tell it to do that again and again and again until you get there.
Nikki, you continue to amaze me.
I spent
recording this Skype calls is
my ear, and we didn't have things like Speeter in those days. It's still not good. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad now. But I still hear the most ghastly mispronunciations.
Yeah, so you guys gonna need some recommendation on what's the hottest app. Ask Nikki. She got the answer.
It's true.
She knows what's up.
She doesn't.
Yeah, I know there's an app called
I can't work half of
Call Recorder for Skype. I think it's like $30 or something like that. Very useful.
Okay.
Can I make a technology comment on that?
Yes.
I know a lot of people love Skype and use a lot of Skype, but we are in the easiest way to record a session ever, which is a Hangout. And if you search for Hangouts on air, so right now we are in a Hangout on air. Not only we are broadcasting our conversation, but it gets recorded automatically. And in this case, this is a public one. Anyone can watch it. But if you Google Hangouts on air, how to make them private, it's pretty easy. You can start a Hangout, and instead of making it public for everyone to see, you just share it with yourself, and then invite your tutor. And then you record the conversation right from there, and then it lives in your YouTube channel privately. So you have them anywhere you want. It's a pretty neat trick, and I'll be happy to, maybe in some other sessions, show people how to do that when you talk to native speakers around the world and you want to record it in an easy way. And also, when you are recording on Skype, you always need a third party or another program, and it uses a lot of your resources in your computer. So doing a private Hangout on air, you are recording, and it goes directly to YouTube, and you can watch it anytime.
Ooh, that just solved. Actually, that's great. I mean, I knew this, but it's great now. When you said that, a lot of people have these technology issues. Like, oh, how do I record my day 90 video? How do I? It doesn't work. Audio.
I'm gonna, just because this is a challenge, I'm gonna make a commitment right here in front of everyone. I'm gonna make a video first in English to show you how to do this, but because I'm learning German, I'm gonna add myself a challenge of doing it in German for the second time.
So everybody learn German.
Woo! I'll do it in English first.
Good. Cool. Awesome. That just solved a lot of problems. Great. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Actually, you can just start a Hangout. It doesn't have to be Hangout on air, because anybody can start a Hangout, and then it will directly go to your YouTube channel, which everybody has to make one anyways to upload video. So
yes, but if you want to record it, though, it has to be Hangout on air. Oh,
yeah,
trust me on this. I use it every day. There is no way to start. There is no way to start a recording on a regular Hangout, which is called a video call. It
Yeah,
has to be a Hangout on air because
you're
it
right.
connects to
You're
you.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Cool. Awesome. Great. Okay. Anybody else about how to make the Skype call effective? Anything?
Well, I think
For me,
what helped me was, yeah, what was already said. Tell the teacher beforehand what you want to focus on. Prepare a few things. And oh yeah, one thing for sure that's really important. Leave Google Translate or something like that open, and yeah, you can just type in your stuff there while you're having the Skype call. You don't have to be worried about losing, like about not being able what you want to say and switching back to English or to your native language if you use Google Translate or something like that. I think it's really effective.
What I like to do when I'm doing a Skype call is to find like one or two things I like to practice. For example, I want to practice how to say how. So I'll just practice how to say how and mix sentences of how do you do this, how do you do that, how do you do this, how do you do that. So this way, I'm learning the function of how, at the same time learning new vocabularies that I will use anyways. And I have the Skype teacher type it all out. Every sentence is going to happen, type it out. So I see it, how it looks like, and also practicing it. Once I'm done with how, I'll move on to, okay, how I want to practice constructing and I'll start practicing making sentences. Like, how do I make this, and then like using something and this. And then so just practicing, making sentences that way. And then eventually, then you'll be able to see how these sentences are constructed, and you're also practicing speaking it, learning vocabulary, the things that you want to say that matters to you at the same time. So that's how I use Skype sessions.
I then put what's been written down onto flashcards.
One more time?
I then put what the teacher has written down onto flashcards.
So then, yeah, so Nikki put these sentences in the chat in the flashcard so you can study it later.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. I think that's it for today. It's almost an hour is almost up. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. Hope you guys had fun. Was it good?
Yep.
Awesome, cool. All right, so thank you for joining us. Today's day 0. Tomorrow's day 1. So I look forward to seeing your progress. And if you have any questions, any feedback, post it in the group. And you get these kind of interaction just like this in the group. So use it. If you're struggling, if you're hit a wall, post it, share with us so we can support you. Okay? Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next 90 days, your progress and everything that you share. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.